All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Power running by Zeke. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Get out there.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
47. Here we go. 47. 47. Hey.
Prescott now on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
47. 26.
On third down, Elliott. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big
rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
47. 26.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's go, get out. Good. 26.
Third and long for Prescott. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing, Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins being chased, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Smith. Able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked on with the 38, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. They go play action here on 1st down. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Cousins again. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd down, Prescott. Forced out to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards in the 1st. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
On the counter, Elliott. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
37. It's coming now.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
We're going to 54. Why? Hey, 47. 26.
Now Elliott. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Cousins now. Flushed out right. Going. They got his man. Complete. The gain of 39 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Bingo.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing is Cousins. Dancing to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Prescott from the gun. Buying time to his left. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left. contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 46.
On second down, Prescott again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Second down, Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 9 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense that they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Cochran. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. On second down, Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Kill. Woo. We'll go 47. 26.
Prescott now from the 50. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Hey, 47. Swing to the field, right. To the right. Then we're going to 53.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Prescott to throw it. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Good. Here we go, 46. 46.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And now look at him go. 30. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Smith in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Handoff comes to Cook. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wild card matchup as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A very solid gain of 27. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They pitch it out to Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Yellow, 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 yellow.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
300. Wait, hot. Hey, we're good. We're going. Let's go.
A give. This is Cook. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 40 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's a wobbler, and it's intercepted. Carlson now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Smith getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Off the play fake, Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, able to avoid him. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Over the middle, complete. It's Cox. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Prescott on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And now here's another interception. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. David Irving in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going deep for Diggs. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long for Cousins. The left side caught by Diggs. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Going deep for Diggs. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. 1st down. Here's Cousins. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Cousins now from the 50. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He sets to fire deep. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. With it is Brown. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They start the drive with Cook. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're good.
Cousins. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Going to 53. There we go.
The give is to Elliott. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Gun. Woo.
Now Prescott. And incomplete here on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Go. Get out there. Gun.
1st down, Prescott. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And now out comes Minnesota. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets 1st downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those 1st downs, keep possession of the football.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
First. Hey, receiver. Hot.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs 52 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the second, he's got a man complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Again to Elliott. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Prescott now on second down. He's going to sling this deep down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Cook. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Cook. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd down, that's Cook. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So out comes the field goal team once more. This to make it a 3-score game late. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
And Charles, on the losing side of things, you know, they didn't come in here as the favorite to these playoffs, but they came in with a lot of hope and anticipation. Tough to have that all snuffed out so quickly.
It really is. You're one of 12 teams when the playoffs begin that still has a chance to win the Super Bowl. So that's pretty darn good. And as you often talk about, a lot of hope when the playoffs start. Well, that ended for them. But when they look back, they'll have a lot to be proud of and see if they turn the page towards the next season.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everybody.